All right. So IT certifications, why do you need them? Do you need to go to a college, a university, a school like Western Governors University, WGU, National University, one of these other accelerated colleges? Do you need to go to a community college? What do you actually need to actually get an IT job? That's one of the things that a lot of people really struggle with of what to do and how to do it. So, one of the things that I want to make sure that you're clear on is you don't need a college education to get a job in IT. My first job in IT, they never even asked me about a degree, but they did want to know if I had any kind of skills. Now, that very first job, which was a help desk job, it was a tough job. But in order to really move up, certifications are the measure that companies have to use in order to make a decision between different clients to determine that this candidate is more skilled than another candidate. And it's a way to filter different candidates. So when you see people say you don't need an IT certification, my number one question to them is, have you ever worked as a hiring official? Have you ever been a recruiter? Have you ever worked in HR? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. So IT certifications actually really do matter a lot for people who need to filter candidates. It's just how it is. It's how the world works. And outside of the United States, college degrees are a very big thing. So that is one way that they can determine whether or not you will be educated or trained enough to actually work inside of an industry. So in the United States, there's this thing where if you don't have a degree and you have a certification, that would be good enough for many different companies or organizations because of the expense associated with college. And you are now getting different employers that don't care as much about degrees anymore like they used to in the past. So let's take a look, right? All right. So as you see here, if you go to LinkedIn, which for any IT person is like bread and butter, right? So for any kind of IT person, you'll see, you go down, you have your work experience. If you don't have any work experience, if you've been in the military or anything like that, you have your education, etc. If you don't have education, then you of course you get a certificate, right? So that being said, one of the things that you do add for like an IT person is the certifications or some kind of certificate program that validates some kind of technical experience. So how to determine what certifications you want to do, right? So once you figure out what you want to become and what you want to do, whether it's a Linux system engineer, a cybersecurity expert, what kind, right? Ethical hacking, you want to be a pen tester, you want to be a SOC analyst, or you want to be a cloud engineer, you want to be solutions architect, whatever software developer, whatever kind of field you decide you want to go into, or network engineer, you want to work in data centers, etc. Take a look at the job, right? So let's just say, for example, let's just go to Google and type in jobs for network engineers. No, let's put cloud engineers near me, right? So I'm in the DC metro area. It's going to pull up things around my location, right? So when you pull this up, let's type in, this is Google Jobs, right? So let's just type in, let's click on one of the random, let's click on two of them. Cloud says looks pretty good. Amazon, that's senior. Somebody that's new to IT is not going to be looking at senior. Let's take a look. Let's go down and click on Linux, right? So when you look at the job descriptions, right, get the highlights, you see Red Hat Enterprise Linux, right? So if you're a newbie and you have a Red Hat Certified Systems Administrator, RHCSA, then you would be a top candidate coming in applying for this job. Also, an AWS certification, right? So let's take a look at some of the other certifications. So in the DC metro area, security clearances are really popular, right? So you see hybrid, which means that it's on site. You see it's asking for a top secret security clearance. They have the salary there, which is fairly high, up to 268,000 a year. Of course, somebody new is not going to get that, maybe mid-level, but look at the technologies. It's looking at AWS primarily. So of course, a AWS certification for something cloud related that they're working on is going to matter, right? If you look at GCP, it will be a Google Cloud certification. So this is where the certifications matter, right? Let's take a look at this other one. So another one here, and like I said, in the DC metro area, which is DC is Washington DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And this area is very big with security clearances for many government jobs because the federal government touches so many different sectors. But it can be whatever the sector is, wherever state you're from, whatever country you're from, it doesn't matter, right? It's going to be the same kind of thing. So if you start there, you start identifying the field that you want to go into and the requirements of that field. Those are the certifications you want to focus on. If you're focusing on a virtualization engineer, then of course you want VMware, right? So don't just randomly go out and get certifications just for the sake of getting certification. Let's put DevOps, right? So DevOps engineer, cloud platform, we'll put that. Uh, let's go down. DevOps platform engineer. Let's find another one. Telecommute, which is remote. So you see here, they have GitOps. Okay, so if you look up GitOps certification, then you're going to look at Linux Foundation GitOps certification, right? So do you have to get it? No. But does it make you stand out against other candidates? Absolutely. It will make you stand out against many other candidates. So as you see, this is a GitOps associate certification. Same thing. So AWS, let's go back. So you'll see a common theme with anything DevOps, whether it's CI/CD, you'll see GitOps, you'll see Docker, you'll see Kubernetes, you'll see that across the board. So if you need to if you're looking for a job in DevOps, you want to make sure that you have a Linux certification, number one, right? You have to work with Linux and DevOps. You got some people that want to ride the Azure train, but at some point you're going to go to the command line and you're going to do something with Linux on a consistent and daily basis. You have to learn Linux if you want to do DevOps, period. Right? So, that being said, you look at the job description and you find out technologies, like, say, for example, Linux, right? Docker. So you want to look at a Kubernetes certification. So Docker is one part of the puzzle, and Kubernetes is the orchestration platform, right? So you want to have that and stand out. And if you look at other ones, you see AWS, Jenkins, they have Jenkins certifications. So you don't want to spend time working on anything that is not related to the job field that you're looking for a job at. Um, I generally don't like going to LinkedIn jobs just because they can be all over the place with crazy requirements. But let's just type in cloud engineer, United States. We'll just leave it like that, right? Let's just pick a random one, okay? So this one's a little hokey. Let's go take a look at another one, cloud engineer. And you got to be careful with LinkedIn. You don't know who you're applying to, right? So what I would tell anybody, and this is getting to a different discussion, is apply to the company directly on the company's website. So if you see something like X4, this is kind of digressing a little bit to a different topic, but if you see X4, then you go to about, go to the company's website, apply on the company's website. Do not apply through these aggregator engines because you have no idea who you're sending your resume to. It could be a third party recruiter, somebody sitting in India or the Philippines or something like that. You don't know who you're applying to, sending your resume to. So, what I never do is send my resume through LinkedIn. What I would recommend that you do is go directly to the company's website, find their careers page, which, depending on the company, right, region section, let's type in cloud, and this is just one example, right? See, and see, this is what I'm talking about. Every website has some kind of thing to it, right? So All right. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on that, but you get the point. The point is go directly to the company's website. That wasn't a great example. Let's go to Atlantic BT, right? Atlantic BT. Let's click on About, go to the company's website. If they don't have a company website, don't apply to it. Don't send your resume there if you have sense. All right, let's go down. Careers page. It amazes me how difficult sometimes they make finding their career pages. Another one, another ridiculous one. Right. But anyway, so what you want to do is you want to drill down to the requirements of the job that you're looking for, and you'll see a common theme. Like, for example, like I said, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible, Jenkins, AWS. You're going to see these themes. So you want to have certifications that are related to the job that you want, right? Let's just say networking engineer. So networking, Cisco is the largest of networking environments and networking platforms, right? So you want to know skills related to these technologies. So as you see here, CCNP, right? The Cisco Certified Network Professional. CCIE, which is way, I don't even know why they have network architect if they got a CCIE in there. CCIE, which is top of the pile. Let's pick junior network engineer. This one should have a CCNA, right? So as you see, CCNA. So you're going to, and that's Cisco Certified Network Associate. So you're going to see a common theme across IT jobs that are going to ask for those core certifications that are related to the job itself. Now, there's a Python certification. You're not going to see certifications for C++, right? And this is ridiculous. They're looking for a network engineer and then familiarity with programming languages. This is this is the stupidity I see all the time with these kind of job announcements. Why are you looking for programming experience for a network engineer? A network engineer is not going to program nothing, you know. So they're working on the networks. They're not there to program anything. That's what you have software developers for. So anyway, those kind of jobs I used to just skip past. So that's how you identify what certifications to take. That's why certifications actually do matter. And no, in the United States, UK, Australia, and some other countries, a lot of African countries, whether it's Nigeria, Kenya, like Silicon Savannah in Kenya. So a certification will make you stand out versus many other other competitors. So that is something to keep in mind, something to plan for, and that will help you determine what certifications to get and why. So don't just randomly go do classes and certifications. They're very time consuming. You want to make sure that you target what you want. If you want to be a DevOps engineer, then you should only get certifications related to a DevOps engineer. If you get a job at an employer and they want something else, let them pay for it, right? So if they don't want to pay for it, then you know you need the skill set and you want to move up, then you go get it, right? So it all comes down to the job that you want, what's important to you, and your plan and your goals and your focus. That's what determines what certification you should get. That's how you do it. That's how I've done it. When I first got started, I came from into IT from being a combat medic, from being a medical person in the Navy. I had no IT background, and that's how I was able to move up the ranks and move around. I don't remember ever being asked about my college degrees. Never. But I always got asked about technical experience and technical background, etc. So I don't know if it was the case that they saw the degrees because I got them when I was in the military. I got a bachelor's degree and I got the master's while I was there. So maybe they just didn't say anything about it because they saw it there. I'm not sure. I never got asked about it, but I always got asked if I had an IT certification, and it depended on the job, right? But it did come up fairly often over the last 20 years. So I hope that helps, and we'll discuss more. Peace.